about? I don't know, we'll see by Friday, we'll see what's going on over here. Yeah, I saw from the Rebbe, the Mimer, he's talking about that you should put guards and off all middas. Okay, chir, put guards on all middas, but it's how you put guards on all middas, how you put training on all middas. It's what does that mean? So we'll see. I don't know, the week still hasn't begun yet. Okay, so we are in Chodesh Elul, and honestly, it's like I'm not really fully aligned with it yet. It's not. It's different. It's not. It's still rough. It's still rough. I'm not feeling the softness. I'm not sure. Maybe this year it's different. I don't know. What? Später? I'm happy that you're feeling it. Good. So fine. Thank you for sending back. Okay. Good. So I guess we're aligned.
You want to elaborate what you feel? Yes.
Fine, I don't want to get into that now. But it's good. Okay. So the question is, okay, fine. So here we're talking about, it's Chodesh Elul. So in Chodesh Elul is, we spoke about it last week. It's when everything that you're going through in life is just a mesach hamavdil. It's a firang. It's something that's it's a blinder. It's called a parsa. Between here and Atzilus, there's something called a parsa. A parsa is not just in Atzilus. It's there's ha'aras, different lights from different windows going through. As the Rebbe Rashab says as the Rebbe Rashab talks about it, there's different levels that it goes through windows. Imagine like a laser window. You have one mirror, another mirror, like this, like that. So different levels of receiving direct light and then indirect light. But here we're in a parsa. The parsa is a firang, a separation. The separation is, don't think about it as in Atzilus there's a separation, there's a parsa. There's a parsa within your life, within you. Where's the parsa? Your struggle. Wherever you are tripping up, that's where the parsa is. And a Chodesh Elul is a time where the parsa gets very soft. It gets very soft. It's not as hardened. It gets very soft. Why does it get soft? Because everything is, the whole dough of life, everything is baked out of an energy. Everything is oiris, everything is koyach. So the more elikim, the more helam, the more the struggle that you're going through with is in world of separation, more chomer, it's more hard, more agony, more pain, more confusion, more sleep. And then in Chodesh Elul there's something added to the mix, into the dough that's being cooked and baked, which is the Yid Gemim of the Sarachim. And Yid Gemim of the Sarachim is where we're tapping into, there's Hashem Kel Rachim V'Chanan, there's two times Hashem. One is Yudke Vavke, which is Hu Shmo Yechad. It's the highest level. It's the highest level of where first expression and last expression exists. The first expression of this thing, the Weisz Mashal Tvisa Beklal, you have no clue, it's Choshech, it's Kesed, Kechashech Koyre, and then there is we're calling out Hashem, Hashem, which is then there's another Yud Kevavke that emanates from that, like so to speak, Kevavke from the stomach, and it just emanates out Yud Kevavke. There's different images about the Zohar explains it. Chassidus that Yud Kevavke they're back to back, or anyways back to back. That's what they're saying. So. Okay, interesting. It's not back to back as if you have a two opposite pictures, but rather it's the Yud shows on both sides, the Vav and the Yud K. Yud K Vav K shows on both sides. So similar, but but here it's easier because it's less letters to deal with. So and it's also the phones are on plane mode. Yeah, somebody called in. I don't know, but phones on plane mode. Everybody's playing. Shut the phones down. It's because the Yud K, you see them on both sides. So what that means is not that you have written this way, and then when you look at the written thing in the mirror, it looks opposite. But here it shows that it means that we're in direct communication with Boyer. And Yud Ke Vav Ke is what generates the power for everything. So we're reaching out to Hashem, Kel Racham Chanan, something that, when I'm in this place, when I'm in such a good mood, then I can tolerate only that much. When I'm in a better mood, I can tolerate more. When I'm besimcha, I can tolerate everything. Nothing is in my way. So too with as Eibishter is manifested in different levels of layers. So over here we can tolerate this, and this guy's from Dasel and Dasel, and we're going to Yud Ke Vav Ke Hashem Hashem Ke Racham V'Chan on the highest level that can wipe everything off, everything down. How? How does he wipe everything down? By opening up more light, more delicate light. So when you open up more light, more rachamim, so automatically I go out from, remember the separation is within us, it's not out there. You don't have a problem, we are the problem. The more you're going to turn on, the less separation you're going to be in, and the more flow you're going to be in. So your problems are here. When we're encountering a problem with the struggle, then there's a struggle here. There's a block in the shafet within me. So now, why does that happen? Where does that come from? Because there is less light and more choshech. There's more chomer, there's more hitting. But as Yud Ke Vav Ke, as El comes in, Yud Gimel Midas Rachamim, which is the 13 different midas of the Eibishter, how it shows up. It's different layers, different shades in light. It's different shades in light. We're just talking about it. That's a sig, There's different shades in light. Try to start talking about different shades in white.
Millions.
And they're okay. So there is millions, but as far as we're concerned,
Shades of light is little more.
Correct, but as far as we're concerned, there is there's Esser spheres. No, there is none, but there is all. So he wants to be expressed. He's okay. Take a deep breath. Of course there is. Because if there wasn't, we wouldn't be here. Not only is there shades, there is full color in Kalim. But then there is in light, there is in Oiris. We're talking about different shades, we're talking about different sensitivities of connection. Different ways of connecting, different ways of, that's called a shade. So as this, the Yidim and the Sarachim are turning on,
All distractions.
everybody close your eyes. So now this chesed, this Yigam Mitzrachman, which is, let's call it chesed because that's today's tongue. This is Bligvul. Chasdei Hashem. It's called the Chasadim. It's with Grif from Chasdei Hashem. Kil chsev v'chis Hashem ha'olam. V'chis Hashem ha'olam ad olam. Shekol Yisrael hem rachmanim bil b'chasadim. Yesh gevul amidul rachma yadim. There is a gevul as to how much rachamim a person can show. L'kadosh Baruch Hu nikra Ein Sof Baruch Hu. L'medosav Ein Sof. Kil chsev kiloi choli rachamim. Zan rachamim never ends. It constantly flows. Now, the way it flows is that we had this in the Talmud Avodah that, technically speaking, it's chesed chinam completely, because in a business you pay in and you get, based on what you put in, you get paid. Over here, he keeps paying in, but we're not really paying back. We're taking the money that we're receiving and taking out ads against the boss. And he keeps giving. So the way to break out of it, it's not that the condition is that's what's needs a tikkun. It's almost like Am Yisrael is in this consciousness that needs a tikkun right now. We need to bring consciousness of that. So how you do that is, says the Alter Rebbe, by tzedakah. By giving tzedakah, okay. What tzedakah does is that it takes, energetically, it takes this shield, this parser that you're experiencing, whatever you're stuck with or in, and it pushes it open. It's almost like this thing that we use as kids play with it. They have the drawing, the two pencils inside a glass. Yeah, what is it called? The two wheels on the side? Okay. You know what I'm talking about? Tablets. Old-fashioned tablets, yes. So when we used to sometimes be able to open up the whole thing by removing all that, so you can see inside what's going on. So there are certain things that will give you.
No idea what it is.
So those are square, scissoroid, and it has like a plastic glass, and you can draw, can smooth. That's why. That you turn the two knobs on the side.
Magnets inside?
Yes.
Yeah, it's great, like sand.
So we're able to open it up. So tzedakah is one of these things that will open it up, that you can see, you can have a moment of clarity. Why? What's the inyan? Because you're also imitating the highest level of our power generator, which gives for free. So he gives for free because I'm taking his money and spending it somewhere else, and he keeps pumping because that's his midah. He just wants to give. So if you do tzedakah, you're tapping into that same koyach, the highest level of punch, the highest level of give, it's his natural name. Chazdei Hashem, it's called Chazdei Hashem. There's this powerful tunnel that just shoots light, it's called Chazdei Hashem. And the way you tap into it is by doing a tzedakah. So when you do a tzedakah, you tap into that power and that pushes, and you're able to see a moment of clarity. Maybe I should try it. What?
Why only maybe?
Why only maybe? I was being sarcastic.
Okay. You said maybe you should try.
I was being rhetorical.
Okay.
I tried it. There's nothing like it. But having said all that, there has to be kelim. There has to be very strong kelim because that there should be a doing veld. So there has to be a cheshm. There has to be. That's why we put in structure in place. You have to get up on time, ground yourself with, being mindful, working out, whatever it is, just being mindful. Tzedakah. So in Chodesh Elul is a time for tzedakah where you give in whatever way you can, and that will open up the Yidgam Mitzrach when you're tapping into that flow of Chesed Kayal Kaliyan. This is message number 1. Message number 2. Kanoida. Shemechet Adam Rishon Nasis Arvus Toivera. From the Chet of Adam Rishon is Gavaran is Arvus Toivera. We did this on Friday. We're just going to do one more point there. Shebechal Advarim Shuhroi Be'inav Yachal Liris HaToiv Oira Sheyeshem. In anything that you see, you can see the good or the bad in whatever it is that you're seeing. Ba'odim gam keinu, ma'urav m'toy v'ra'a kenoida, shu b'chinas ha'yetzata v'yetzara sheba'odim. V'reshbo nimshach achar ra'a sheba'adover, v'hara shebo nimshach achar ra'a sheba'adover. The chelig ra pulls for the chelig ra, v'atov nimshach achar atov, sha'adover shiroi oisem v'divra oilam hazeh. Chalech lefi ma'ashu. So basically saying, Azak shiroi shum dover in roi kim ara, asher sham b'dover ahu, in Machlel Chaz V'Shalom HaTov, Shu Himin V'Asmel Chaz V'Shalom. Mavsika Ma'orin Sel Baruch Hu. You get to choose. Whenever something comes up, you can choose the good or you can choose the not good in it. And if you choose to see the Chelik HaTov, it's not that it's not good. You're choosing to see not good, but you can force the issue and see good. The same way you're forcing the issue to see not good. It's your choice. That's the Bechira. And he's saying it's in your hands to do so, to overpower every situation and see the positive in it. In other words, and if you stop that, then you're stopping that flow, and you're tapping into a different flow. Now you're receiving energy from somewhere else that will bring you confusion and all other types of stuff. Called stopping the flow. Mafred alufa shel olam mishchenusei. From his dwelling place. Hashoch Moshe from Dregis, she'll begin stuff. When you can over the Vodazar. If you can shut off the phones, please. Mishkot al Shem to al Pasi by Satan Latam Malakim Acherem, Elohim Acherem, Kimiyatcha Satan Achel Shem, Lechel Bechir Serav, Vodasim Elohim Acherem, Nachshal Vodazar. It's technically speaking of Vodazar, to have fear and to live in worry is a Vodazar. I mean, okay, we know where we need to get to. It's work. It's not simple. In other words, and you need to do it. You need to do it grounded. You can't just. You have to check in fully. More avoided, more grounded, and all that stuff. The worry is where the fear is coming from. hat nicht dem das zu wissen und zu gleiben. Keles asas and du gunish was nicht Nothing is umgekehrt von him. Everything that you're experiencing is in direct communication, in direct contact with the Eibishter, with the higher Eibishter, whatever it is to you. Fine. It is the ganze Welt is ungefüllt für him. Afille in the earth, in the weltliche Sachen, in besoif madregis, and the lowest madregis. Everything is, everything is there. What's that? And this is the Tov. This is S. In dem staat S abruchen, but the Klule staat nicht S, because it's Aleph Tov. Du wirst daran bringen the Aleph mit der Tov zusammen, S. The Bruche is in the S, which means that even if you're on the lowest level that you're at the Tov, if you can see right there that alles is Eibishter, in whichever way you see it, that's where the Bruche is. Darkness is the Bruche. So in any situation you are, now listen, it's like any art, you have to learn and you have to practice. This is, Shishin Geborim, Suvalam Geborim Yisrael, we're talking here about, and as Reb Shimon brings down, Baruch mentions it a lot, with the Charba Shalifa, with the different, it tells the Talmidim to prepare themselves with different weapons. So, this is it. This is the Moedanayim. This is, it's a gym, it's a workout to become a proper fighter. To understand how to bring the Aleph to the Tov. Now, it's fine, you don't have to do this all the time. This is where we deliver the message, so it's intense, okay, but you don't have to be with it all the time, but at least it's something that you go to the gym once a week, twice a week. And that is beautiful. Working out twice a week with physical combat is very good. So you come, you check in, and then you go back and live your life. Have the arguments, make up, blues, and get over it, don't get over it, hold on longer to it, and then I really want to talk to you. It's all part of it's all part of learning how to, as you start, taking in more and more, and the more the reality changes around you. The connections, the wife, the kids, the business, everything changes. Right? Parents start calling, I haven't heard from you, good Shabbos, there's that, right? Like, different stuff happens. Why? Because we're just emanations, we're manifestations. Ich, my tata, zan tata, all the way back to the top. And then there is certain levels that can manifest. Tata Zayde, Elta Zayde. And then it expires, and then the energy lives on. B'yis Mashiach, the Tchis HaMaisim is that to wake up and see that you just need one moment of Nitzchi. Because, Nitzchi is, the truth is one spark, and if the truth is in the present moment. So you need 1 second of a spark. The Nitzis HaMashiach, one spark. And this is giving us the spark. Everybody just take a deep breath actually from the nose. From the nose. Yeah. Let's tune in this moment to self. Ask, align yourself. Align yourself to being at peace, to being in flow. Right, okay, I don't think I have to get carried away with exactly I want this, I want that, just one being present. And of course, there should be, the more present there should be with the force, which means that there's a shefa flowing. And if there's a shefa, it has to equals in shefa in everything, because if it's verklempt somewhere, then the shefa is not a real shefa. So instead of measuring it from Atamaila what more I can do, rather measure what more I can do to turn on my shefa, to turn on my flow in my flow in being present, bringing together the aleph and the tov. Okay, so choose to see the positive in everything. The problem is that seeing the positive in everything.
I tried.
What?
It didn't work.
What didn't work?
You said before, maybe you should try it.
Try what? The wine? If I can do it. Do what?
You said before, maybe we should try it.
You don't want to think. He said tzedukah, you said seeing the positive. So
Yes.
what are you referencing to?
Whatever.
Tzedukah?
Tzedukah is the same thing. Seeing the positive in tzedukah is the same thing.
No, so what's it? So saying
you
it doesn't
said,
work?
You said before, that feeling, if you could tap into it, maybe you should try it once.
Of tzedukah, of giving tzedukah.
Given tzedukah.
Yes, no.
And I tried.
And?
It didn't work.
Really?
It was too painful.
And I tried and it did work.
So he said afterwards there needs to be kind. I'm exactly in the flow now.
I tried and it worked.
in the positive in tzedukah mind.
I tried and it worked. Elamai, he wants to, it was, I don't know what he wants.
You got away for a reason.
I'm not sure. He's trying, you're looking at it as a tanz. You keep trying to prove him, like you see, you're not at what you're saying you are.
It's a guy.
It's a guidance.
What if not?
What's that?
What if not?
What if yes? The Rebbe Rashab Zuk today, today, I just hammered this out today. Emesdige moichen, real intellect has to be good. Because it is good. And I'm going back and forth and I'm like, he's just giving a mushal about how to process chachma. So it's not really just bringing a mushal, but also there can be intellect as something that's not good. He says no. Real chachma, real moichen can only be locked in when you are tapped in, and it gives the mushal. When somebody looks at a melech and is completely in awe of what he sees. Or when you stand in front of the Rebbe, whoever your Rebbe is, and you're in awe, like there's no expression, you're not looking at, you're just connected to Chachmas of Moech Ha'av, and the Tzaddik is Mazriya, to his Ashwa. So, close your eyes. So with Chachma, you can only process something that is absolute, and that's in Vekas, and then you go into the Kelim. So if you're saying that then you're not connected yet. You have to tap into alignment with Chachma. Fine. This is the instructions. Now, don't forget, yes, there is distance from where it needs to be, but there is a far distance from where you were, from where we were. What are you talking about? Like, seriously? Yes, Weisz, yeah, there's levels. Look, we're learning more than 9. We're listening and applying as much and creating more and more space, bringing in more positive flow. And this is what I wanted to say before. It's very risky to see things in a positive. Because I'm almost sure that every single person doing this work has seen the positive and has gotten hurt. Because he was just taken for a ride. Because the Wildkeit from the Sharabar is just doesn't know how to deal with such delicate truths, and advantage is taken. Of course, advantage is taken. So you have to be cautious, but keep working inside. Keep creating space from within, and the safer environments where you can just express yourself, be yourself.
And what's so risky?
The risk is if I see only the toiv, then you go into business like that, then you can get hurt. Because you're just okay.
It's still not automatic. Why?
Yeah. You have to know how to do it. It's business. When we still don't take it, because it's not 100. We're not there yet. Yeah, there's still other consciousness that are not fully aligned with this, so they don't have the sensitivity. And they go, oh, Dikra is what I want, but slowly, it's softening everywhere. There's nothing to talk about. All right. Any questions? So what are you saying, Maya? No, so what are you saying? Saying finish. Anywhere you want. You're saying that it's not real? What's that?
I'm not saying it's not real.
So what are you saying? Where's the challenge?
Can you get me to level 100 without feeling pain?
Can I what?
Can you get me to level 100 without feeling the pain?
I don't know what pain. Tell me what pain we're dealing with.
I don't know. You're saying that.
What? 1 second.
You're describing the thing.
I'm describing which pain.
It's pain, because if you can see the toilet, you can see it from both ways.
No.
So if you see, how do you know if you see toilet from the positive way or from the negative way? So to feel that, to know that, to realize that, you describe that as painful because it's too much. You can't see it. You gotta stop.
And you can see it.
And you the next level.
And you see it. But it's easy.
Damn, I see it.
And it's easy.
No, it's not easy.
So where are we arguing right now? What's the debate? Ik wil verstaan de kans doen.
Feeling that feeling.
Which feeling?
The realizing when the shift, when you're starting to go from negative to positive. We're talking out in the toilet. But
there's going to be every day. It's got out an einkimmen stuff at you that you're going to need to be mavader. And the more bitter you're going to have, the more it's going to come. Because the more you're aware of it. So you have a choice. You can take the red pill or the blue pill. That's the famous question. The red pill is the guy that's like, don't bother me, ich schluf, and this is this. Ich fuhr, I chase and I do my thing. And then there's the other guy that says, I want the blue pill. What's going on? Because even the guy with the red pill is eventually going to wake up. It's going to be when he's on his bed or when he has to recycle again to have the message. But we're already right now at the bottom, and we're just, as you're speaking, consciousness, you're popping out, you're breaking out from that sleep. That trippy enough? We're literally hanging from a tree, like bags hanging. But it's good because it's not chomer so much anymore, so it's more soft. We can more start seeing it in the ruach, and the ruach becomes because the chomer is part of velbus. You have to work 19 hours a day. But in the ruach, once it goes into the spirit, I can already change the way I see things, the way I hear things, from there I can start changing perspective a little. And now, oh, it's a different game already. It's a different game already. You're pre-approved for another credit. No, I don't think so. I have to think about this for a second. Because I'm chasing something else. Or yes, and now I know what for, but with Adas. So, you're saying that it's a struggle? Welcome to the battalion.
The struggle is op zich een ganze jaar. Dat is wel.
Hold on. So, laat me zeggen zo. Van 1 bis 10, wieveel was das Jahr gehabt? 10 is de ergste. Van 1 bis 10, wieveel viel is dat je gehad?
Dat gaat dat te trachten, heb je het zijn.
En wat dat niet staat te trachten? Is wat? No, I didn't get anywhere. I'm just, my question, I want to get something, and wieveel percent spiest as, so what's wrong with the way you have it right now? What does it look like when it's fully Gechaf? What does life look like from that place?
Listening to you playing.
Huh? Finish. Play?
Yeah, but before that.
What?
I'm not say the names before.
Oh. Okay. Was on the photo?
Can I add a point to what you said? Maybe this can make sense.
Yeah, please. Oh, we don't think we should go on.
Yeah?
Everybody's come. Yeah, go.
My,
Yeah.
maybe it is the concept that the reason why we use the word pain is to describe the way how it's described to the lowest level. If you want to relate to it from the place where you are at when you are Ruah, then you don't necessarily have to see the pain. You don't have to find the pain. Just go with the way how it feels over there.
So these are the sponsors? What?
Yeah.
What's the announcement?
Moshe Okay, такие.
Shmuel and Sprinza. These are the sponsors for this week. Okay. Ik could see the last open. So what will Lema? Yeah, hey. The sifta, the boy and I saw. Yeah, hey. Sashlim Mishalem Lily Boy Lily Boy the Falamo he's away the Sashlim Mishalem, Billy Boy, Billy Boy, the Chalamo, Yisroel, the Tau, the Chayim, the Nishlam. The Chayim, the Islam. Amen. Mhm.
So there's a famous line, Chodesh Elul melech masuda punaf sachikas. What does it mean? What's the punaf sachikas? What's the happiness? What's the avodah because of that?
Simcha. I guess. Simcha.
Is it that simple?
Of course, simcha, more Torah, more avodah, doing more, downloading more, tapping into positive flow. Something about doing positive flow. And right now, the time is that you're not going to meet harshness. You're going to meet softness. Because he's here. He's smiling. The highest. Yud Shem Hashem Kirach Machan. And that's why we say love Hashem Vishi. Because it has the Yud Gim and the Sarachim and then. So we say it twice a day. To tap into that. There's one more thing I didn't take out. Okay. That's what it says there. Let's see, it's that simple. It's the line we were supposed to learn last week. We didn't.
This one we weren't supposed to.
What?
This meant we weren't supposed to.
Oil was waiting for me.
True.
Oil was waiting for me.
True, what's that?
Last week we thought we were going to.
So, okay, this is the Vart. The Vart is Azay. The Vart is that usually the king is in his palace and you can only meet him in his palace, which means that you have to follow a certain avodah, a certain path in order to meet, to have a moment, which means it could be kind of pinchy, you know, because you have to get into his room where there's the deeper you go, the less fat there is on the meat. You know, the more, you know, it gets more surrender. Okay. But on Chodesh Elul, he's in the field. He's going to meet you wherever you are. Whatever you're. It's not that you have to be the Bnei Ali in order to have. You can daven. He's in communication. He's everywhere. Panim Sochikas means that he's out. He's in a good mood. So Eli says he's feeling it already.
Knowing that it's here and actually meeting it,
Yeah.
it's not so easy.
Knowing that he's there and actually meet him. How about he's here right now?
He is.
Okay, that's it.
So you already met him.
No, that's it. What else? If I work Sheshes Yom Tavit, 1 second. I can work 80 years and then for one mission I'm okay with. I can work 3 years on a job to dig somebody's grave. Fine. I wait to get paid and all that I'm okay with. To work all week to have a moment of Elokus, what's up?
To see that thirst.
So now you're saying you can't bring it into your day to day yet.
No.
I get it. You're a new eagle and your wings are still growing.
I am. But I see the thirst from so many layers.
You see the toy from so many what?
So many layers.
No.
See the toy from
Yeah.
so many layers. And see it.
No.
Not easy.
Okay. There's different levels in the Navy SEALs. There are other school. There are other kittas. There are less intense. Okay, well then, should I? Well, let's be real. Am I fully there? No, but I sure, whatever it is, I'm celebrating and taking the punches and doing what has to be done. in order for me to understand the work, I guess I have to go through the process. And then be reminded again. And then just in case someone's going to ask a question, I need to be reminded there too. But with all seriousness, it's yeah. It's intense, I get it. So that's why we have a time of Chodesh Elul, where there's an opportunity now to that we can get into a relationship with it from a place of softness, from a place of there's more rachamim and all that. And if that meets still resistance, then try to find the rachamim in that too. Try to find the rachamim, try to find the mercy in that. Maybe you're at the level that you need to bring, that you're going to bring, you need to bring upon himself into that place. Right? Maybe you're at that level that you need to bring in the upon himself into that matzah. Okay, it's not easy. This is work. It's work. Die Moshe beginnen sadden midwe eretz lezeroa shama masim b'diburim b'machshavos hashelo l'Hashem hema. Ein tzarich in pagam b'machshava dibur ma'isa. I mean, we're talking here about. Okay, fine. What are we talking? We're talking about nothing. That's number one. Number two, we're talking here about welten of midbe that needs to be bitter. Your thoughts are all part of a process. It's a huge process that needs to have a bitter also. Yeah, so maybe your level of balance is not if you can have your machshava zara is to balance to stay in the positive. Yeah, right. It could be. Listen, a machshava zara like this can take the eagle landing straight in the face, right in the cup. Say that. Dwarm betelen maar laat orge de milse de stab bemille der dieute. Dat is dus vervoering. Huh? Okay. Now look at the malka. The milk doesn't hang out in small talk and stuff that are just conflict. Okay, the customer survey masham get the begamis. All right. Fine. Let's go into this one. Yeah, I want to do that one. Stay in this one. The one I was doing right now. Okay, let's stay.
You don't have an inside.
What?
You don't have an inside.
I know.
Yeah, okay, so let's go inside.
So let me see, because Epis is so not so long. I'm just going to say it from the outside. Perish Adam Kumash Modis Adamis Hakis Adamis Kamar Adam Egosh Sham. Fine, we'll do this week. I can't do this from the outside. Finish as the grandfather for him. Okay. You guys are ready to go in?
Yeah.
Yes.
Alright. Get into more discussion, or you want to go inside? Discussion? Okay, so let's do discussion. Fine. We'll go inside in a few minutes. So let's do discussion. Let's go.
You have to do an L the same avoid that you
What?
did. L so an L you have to do the same avoid you did every month here. Because it's easier to accomplish.
Yes. It's easier because the Yidgim and the Sarafim are yes, they're in full display. So the Alter Rebbe asks a question. There should be yomtiv. The whole Elul. Understand? It's that level of oil. That's level of. Yeah.
Aber was ist die ganze Welt über die Schlafen von Elul?
Spoken flesh.
Okay. For what's going on with the shrak? So what is that? It's
Bei der Punaf Sachkes.
in Chabad is Purim Sachkes. Sachkes?
So the Alter Rebbe hat gesehen da, wisst du? He said he's Punaf Sachkes, yes?
No.
So wie ist die ganze Welt? Wir sind busy mit
Fischen Wasser ticket.
der Fischen Wasser, mit der Cheshma Nefesh.
No, wie ist das?
Alles Dibber.
Noch einmal.
Na Wada, Kindine ist.
Wie? In Chabad ist es nicht. In Chabad verbringt man. Da ist in Shabbos Shiva kiekt das. Der Röhm ist Toitschikisch.
Chill.
So to open up his question more, see they noch tzaddikim. You know,
No.
they also saw the Abishter. They didn't see the point of circus.
They did see the Purim Sachkes. It's just it was mistranslated. Look, in every expression there is people that get scared of letting go, and it's too much for them to deal with, and they turn it. It becomes something that it's not, and they put the fear of God in it, and they twist it because they're not ready. They can't deal with it. So therefore they see they don't see the Purim Sachkes. They see the monster God. And remember, there's also a Holocaust that people went through, so with a lot of cleaning from that too. They did see that type of image there. It was heavy. But if you learn Chassidus, it gives you the Purim Sachkes. It's Elul is a time of compassion. It's tender. You can go in. It's a nachman. It's zbodedus. It's talking, communicating. There you are having big breakthroughs in Chodesh Elul. There's a breakthrough is a hisgalus. Hisgalus means like, I see it. I can understand now. I see my blind spot. That is huge. That means that a massive light just turned on a flashlight, and you're like, oh, I can see myself there. That's big. That's a beam straight from, you are imprisoned, you are in low conscience, you're in choshech, you can't see your box. Mitamal, there's a massive light that comes shining down and just exposes you. And you see yourself, how you're struggling there, you're suffering. And once you see it, it's like finding the tight muscle. If I have a fist, I'm holding my fist for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and you tell me to open up my last finger, I'm like, there is no last finger, I don't feel anything. But if you point it out, oh, now I can easily open it up. We have tightness muscles for generations, 2,000 years of gulis, which was tightness of muscle. And now you're not even aware that you're so tight. You're not aware that you're not in flow, or not in shefa. And what happens is that that's where klippa is yonik, because klippa is halt fazich, hav, or fear. Not that halt fazich, fear. There's a lot of fear. There's fear, like I'm afraid. I'm cold. I don't want to open up. So how to open it up? Not to force it. To go from within. Find the compassion. Find the love within. Find the love within. And this is how you open. You don't want to break. If you break ice, you break it. You let it melt. What was that?
Why is the Yira stira with one of Tachkas?
Okay, good. Why is Yira a stira with Punim Tzachkas?
Who said there is?
What's that? Whoa.
And who
The
said
man is
there
about to burst his bubble, and you're just like popping it for him. Yeah, let me make. No, let him give him. What?
And who said it is? He asked the question.
Who said? Who asked
He
the question?
asked why everyone is so scared.
Yeah,
If it's one of Tachkas, why they're scared?
yeah.
Who said that this is a stira with one of Tachkas?
Ah,
Why is it even a stira?
okay. So
But the answer has to
that
be
you're that
that
far
they-
damaged. Okay.
What?
You're fine. Okay. Good. It's still my massive breakthrough. You guys still my massive breakthrough. Okay. So.
That's why I came.
Yeah, no, fine. Stop teasing. I don't need to know. It's good. So why is that a steer? He's saying that technically speaking, you can be smiling and it can be yira also. Okay, so fine. So maybe you're good.
When you find God, and He's Panasachas, some people are going to reflect with a smile.
Yeah.
Some people are going to reflect with yira.
What's yira?
Maybe I'm going to reflect with a smile. Some people are going to be scared from the smile.
1 second, good. What's yira?
I don't know.
Okay. So let's just say that
he asked the question from there. I never was.
Let's just say for now that yira is what we let's just say yira is what we experience in Elul, in the fish and Wasser zitten and so ungezeugenkeit.
No, the master. Kann man ja, kann man überrein. The
Okay.
master is viel mit hier.
Fine, hold on. You want to go? 1 second. 1 second.
Why is it here? Why is it?
Yeah, exactly. It's not yira. It's. Hold on a second. It's yira. 1 second. No. There's levels of yira. The yira that we're talking about in the Machzeh Kama Yavrin, the Kama Yibirain, we're talking about you standing in front of judgment. Judgment is you standing in front of a light that is a billion Ein Sof alignment, and anybody standing in front of that doesn't stand a chance. Me, Yamet, the Choy, what's that? No, they can stand in front of the Chadam Tzedek and live.
Wie is eigenlijk genegen?
Wie is er van Yeah. So Kami B'rein, we're coming in that with we're machniya, like hello. I'm not showing up because if I show up like this, you're gonna get hit right in the center chest. So it's like me, Kami Yav and Kami B'rein. It's a kleine shefel. I'm like, I'm barely surviving. Please, and that is the compassion that you're talking about, an El that's available. And how? Mit Hashoifer. You go into the lowest, and it's Kenishaka Mechibir. It has to be Aturush, Ugerissen. The lowest doimim that exists. And from that place, we reach out and we communicate. And you lose the Shoifer, and he responds. He responds with everything that you're experiencing in your life. He's responding with. Find it inside. Find it inside, pushing forward. Finding inside means that if you don't like the matzav that you're in now, then maybe if you're going to pull too much, you're going to break the ice. Why don't you go inside and align with the matzav and push out from there? Now again, not to stay in the matzav, we want to move, but how to move? Going inside, finding like the peace within the situation, it's not so bad. Where's the message in this? What is it giving me koyach? It's putting me down, it's humbling me, it's raising me, it's waking me up. It's making me more anger, that can give me more pull to drive. And from there, you can push forward. You want to turn on there? Fine, say that. I surrender for a minute.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay. I can't go that. The light is limited that we can only go that far. The altitude, is.
If you realize that the heat can pull down the altitude too.
The heat, I'm saying if the light was out with the heat, we could have tuned into the heat, the temperature, but the light doesn't allow us to raise and the temperature is rising and there's an off balance. So we lost pressure in the cabin. So therefore we have to turn on the air and nog give a missile from there out and met zich altijd a certain altitude. Square cannot handle its dead level. But this got they're doing pretty good.
I thought that you can handle more than square.
I
You
can't
pick up
handle.
square high.
Saying that
Giving
square.
up.
I'm giving up on square.
Yeah, you're giving up.
Why?
If you say that square can only handle so not
Tonight.
altitude.
Tonight.
Okay.
I told you I'm not really
Yeah,
feeling
but
L yet.
L is a time.
But I'm not really. I said I'm not really. Maybe
That's
after
why
tonight.
So tune into
They're,
Ellie.
they're,
Tune into
still
Ellie.
they're still in the dining room there. Minutes 11. Yeah, Ms.
Close the
Dot.
light.
Yeah. Ms. Dot. No, Ms. Dot is good.
Not yet, because then you're gonna turn over the air.
I think it was today.
Candice, what?
I have night lights on the floor.
I understand. People are in the kitchen.
Just can't go.
No, don't.
hallway,
Ik ga
down the
mensen.
hall.
Vrek nou. Einde de dag. So can we slush in the light?
Light that works is the floor lights.
No.
So the whole house.
Okay, fine. Then forget it. Thomas is eyes. Kan nog gefrekt akasha. So, okay. Ja, stimmt?
We gotta go back, no?
Wie had me?
Jeder.
Jeder, okay.
Stieren.
Okay.
Was ist das Tier? Ist du ein Platz für jeder Beschlag?
So what is Yira? What is Yira? Yira is, okay, there's Yira Tatua, there's Yira Elul. Yira Tatua is, gemoeid en Chatina zo en zo,
And a punishment.
am genad verlieren doel, God forbid, or the answer to the shows out of the family. And then you have Yira Elul is,
Genoeg.
what's that?
Genoeg.
It's bitter. We're talking there about Yira is, let me say, Yira is Chachma. Chachma is Koyach Ma. It's talking about Yira of that melts away the Chayim. It becomes translucent. Chachma, Koyach Ma. So, Panem Sochikus, it has to be a Panem Sochikus. Why it's a stira? Now, because, as we said before, anything that is true Kedisha, the real Kedisha, is Chatman and is in Moech. Chachma picks up the real, true sensitivity to Adavar Elikis, Adavar Eliki, dat wird den ganzen Ibegenemen. And anything that's not in flow, anything that's forbidden, there is in condition is kan pachet, it's a klippe.
Jeder met verbitterd, dezelfde dag.
No, the way hier is ausgetauscht
Bij de schwache mensen.
bij de gemeinde.
Bij de gemeente.
Yes, bij de gemeinde. De gemeinde zijn de Hamoina.
De Hamoina.
Yes.
The same way that Ahava can be grown by the Hamoina.
Correct.
That doesn't mean that the source, from wie ze komt to certain areas, am operate met tieren Elul,
No.
is als tieren, met Punosachkas.
No, begaan niet.
That's
No.
all.
Yeah, of course, we're going into what we're doing here now. What Learning Chassidus is going into here, going into Chachma.
My question is,
how do you define Yira? That's the main
I
question.
find
Yira mit Punafsachkas can work together. The question
is
is, why do you
working,
define
basically.
it?
So Batko and Navardik are working as well with the...
I have no clue. I don't know.
How do you define
I don't know
it?
what that means. I don't know what that means.
Moshe, hier hebben we toch gehaald.
What's the definition of Yira?
Okay, I'm clear.
All right. So good. So the real yira is taka. It's avoda. 1 second. We didn't discuss it. And the real yira is the avoda.
Is avoided the same that Tiri Ahava is an avoid.
Correct.
So we discussed over the Ahava, we can continue with Ahava.
Okay.
Because that's our avoid. We're gonna leave the Yira for...
Okay. Fair enough. But we can go with this, whatever he's bringing down over here.
I'm clear, if anyone wants to continue with that, I can do it.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm going to start from Oz base. I'm just going to do the first piece, the first line. This is a piece from Yeshaya. V'samti katkat shimshoi sayich v'she'arech la'avna egdach. This week. Huh?
That's true.
Which page?
The first page, 48. Zweite Seite of the top, yeah.
Can you know?
V'she'urech. What's it?
Shirai. Yes.
V'she'raich? Okay. V'she'raich.
I think it's the last of Torah, no?
Ja? V'samti katkat shimshoi sayich
Yes.
v'she'urech la'avna egdach, which means that ich leigen katkat is a tire stein, and ich leigen also wie einer legt an a fenster, somebody puts in a window a colored stone, and when the zin shant of them, kommt es adarach, as the Moshe bringt up that in the Nubi, shant es adarach, so too, the darfst dich leigen in deine Augen, die zwei Steine, that everything you're going to see, you're going to see in full color. Maybe. Hold on a second. Maar just geëindigd zoeken jetzt dit van Moira Naim. We just finished, right now I'm just finished saying that Aleph Tov, I will meet you anywhere you go. And the minute you realize, less I saw upon him and he's everything, he's in everywhere, and whichever way you need to find him, it's like, listen, you're going to push me, I'll go deeper and I'll find you there. It's like I'll dig into the ground and I'll let me from the end.
I can go all your levels.
What's that?
I can go all your levels.
You can go all,
Hashem can go all your levels.
Not just to go all the levels.
He is all your levels.
We have no choice, but we are, the way Kesser meets Malchus is, and that's the whole Yechida is.
That's somewhere.
What Kesser meets Malchus is, you can either walk from Malchus up the way back, all the way back to Kesser, which means you have to go through all your midas, and that's the Sur Merah program, constantly checking, and it's an endless game. Or we just figured out, it's Ekya, it's in the present moment. You go Malchus, you go deeper. You go deeper, you dig in, and Shlomo Melech put his hands in, he pulled out a man with two heads. So go deeper, and pull out the man with one head. Yechida.
So what you're saying is you don't need to go deeper if you can find much higher.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
That's what you heard.
Stop. Jeder is our process. It's okay. Jeder hat our process. Es ist different arms. Man trefft sich mit den Galas. Einer so. It's als we zo in de Weisz Mikdash, het is karbonis. Jeder brengt zich aan karben.
So that's what we do. So that's what we do. So that's what we do.
Als we doen. So, yeah, so zoekt de Novi, als ze doen, Omer op Shmiel bij Nachmoning, Peligeba, 3 malacha de Rekia. Ze gaan aan mijn geluk, het is een 2 malach met de Rekia, Gavriel en Mechol. Jaket Bishai, Isi Mechol en Gavriel. Ga doen maar Shoim, ga doen maar Yoshve. Omer Kodesh Burgi, Leheve Kedan. Zo zijn, also wie beide. Einer zoekt zich aan Shoim, dat is de 2 steinen, en beide, de 2 steinen zijn gewinnen op een Eifet. Ook het dan gewinnen op Goshen. Dus ze gewinnen de 6 nemen of them. Dan ze gaan ooit nog 6 nemen, stammen ze. On the Indian. Vuf Ketsuvis, yes, that's the Indian. The Indian is that, back to that, it's important. The difference between Chachma and Bina is, Chachma is, I don't care what if it's good for me. I just care if the Indian is good. Okay? Because Chachma has the whole, he's present with the message. He's present with where it's at. So it's calculated, it's brain, it's cold. Bina is already understanding Yiddish HaMetzias. Bina is already understanding the Mahalach, what's going on over here. What's that? Arosum Lazach, 1 second. That's why jeder aan. But the word is that there is a part of you that has figured it out. That's already that is fully connected, that understands, that has it figured out. That's fine. But then there is another part, which is the point and the purpose of all this, is to figure out, to bring Yediyas HaMetzias, to bring it down into your separation, into Vel. So let me just go this and then we'll do it again. Let me just wrap it, which is that your problems, your resistance, down struggle, that is exactly the point. Because without, that's called the Vuf Ketzuvas. Bina, you can only chap from the Vuf Ketzuv, from the 4 corners. Mizrach, Marav, Guru, and Tufan. Am I being hit here, being hit there? Where do I feel it? That is Bina. It comes in Tzimtzum, it's Mitzamtzum, the oil, so it's Betzimtzum. So your struggle is really the beauty of the game. That's how you get to chap different shapes of light, different shades, which you said before, there is many and there's none, there's too many to keep track on. Nobody asked to look at it in shades of light, look at it in shades of color, which is in my day-to-day, different shades of where I can find Achdus Hashem. So, Bina is already making cheshbonis, is it good for me or not good for me? Alright? So you can have a moment, you can have an understanding that makes total sense, but then you're saying, but I can't apply it out there. It doesn't work. Okay, good. That's the job. Apply it. Bring Bina into a Welt. Where bring it down. That's only to bring Chachma into the Welt. And B'Chachma is Berira. Once you have the Chachma, Chachma is laser. Then you can penetrate through anything, which means any block that you're that's hitting you, any type of struggle, you have the koyach to see through it. Now, do you have the koyach to see through it? Maybe not, maybe yes. Maybe you may need to talk to somebody, to a friend, or whatever you have to do, breath work or whatever you got to do to tap into Chachma. But at least you have Idiyas HaMetzias. You understand that there is a level with the desk. There's a level. There's Idiyas HaMetzias. Until now you thought it's here, Mata. You were going down, down, down. But now you know these Idiyas HaMetzias. And eventually we're going to go into Sagas HaMahus, which is we're going to be living in that moment. We're going to be living in that space. I skipped a few lines. I'm going to keep going, you'll catch me, you'll find me. Which means that he's saying that Shemesh is also, you can also have this moments of katkat, these two colored stones that you get to see things in full color through tzedakah, because tzedakah is also called sun. Which is, and it heals the wings, which I think he's going to say soon. Ava v'yira. Okay, if I'm not mistaken. So with tzedakah also nikra shemesh. V'zeh inin shem shesayach Weisz beginnes shemesh. El haven zeh yesh lav and chila mashim avur b'sfarim shebe'eloma me'irin yidgim amidas arachim. Let's be mavar. What's going on with this? Elul is shan the yidgim amidas arachim. Ad Rosh Hashanah. V'achkach v'aseres me'tshuva choyzer me'mezgalam ha'yidgim amidas hamidas. Biz Rosh Hashanah. And look, the Maseres by Rosh Hashanah it goes out. Rosh Hashanah night, Chashech, it goes out. That is, by the way, the real pachad was megred for tzaddikim gehat a pachad that's genommen bis the bain. That because got a werk the ganze oire sich mit zamtzen. Finish Shuna banach. Bis the key shofer. And meret van atzar was lebt van light. Lebt van the oire. When die nemst weg dem oire van him, it's frightening. And he's holding, and he has to hold. And it's almost like lemush l'kevyuchel. There's a runway, and the runway has the reflectors, and the reflectors are there so the plane sees where to go. The plane sees what to follow. Now imagine the reflectors are out, and you need to know where to land. Not just where to land, you have to be, while the lights are out, you have to be ready to hold for the landing to happen. There's Lamed Vav, Nigla and Nister, Baal and Afana, that they are the pillars that hold channels of light. We bring it on a Welt and Zalt and Spies on Rachman and Shefa for Klal Israel. That's their job. So ze kimt to Rosh Hashanah banach, bis wird finster. And they got a hold. So es ist umgegangen, also der Rebbe Shabbat gesagt, dass geht bis Simchas Torah. Damit so weckt sich auf von vergallischt, vergallischt. It's heavy work. It's heavy work. I mean that they were going through. And that's why you got the Rebbe Meidel, the Heilige Rebbe Meidel, the Tzirikim hat sich angespart. Wusste ich was sich angespart? They were dangerous. It was like Kiviyachal. In other words, the slightest thing, they were in super heightened, like when you're in the heightened state, then it's like cancers that heightened, nobody's energy, everybody you need. They were in that state. They were in that level. And there is no going back. There's just keeping. And one guy, one thing can give us a creating turbulence. This mind does those dream, and what it looks like at the bottom. It looked like a Tuesday afternoon. The Zelda, okay, so that's what, the same thing. Oh, because they were holding this concept of Shishun on Kim Yom Kippur. Yes, it's Rigi Kimono, but yes, that's when dealing with them. That was, they still, it's coming in and it is due, the Melech is doing, it's a face-to-face time, and you want to make sure to capitalize, and that's on Simcha, of course. You have to be Simcha. So you got this unit there. Very good. There's a Shuna do Amidikat, I don't know if anybody right? Kenna Schalten, no, I don't know. Why? Because we're going through a Nasira. This is when Udom is like Mashlofen and the Welt was created. A Kufa is the Welt created and Udom was created in Shuna.
Okay, so.
So what?
For your time.
Something like that,
No, wegen dem traast het Zerschlofen. And it's not Razan, because remember what Frigret from the Tzadikim was when the runway lights are out, they're still holding. Als met Mereza van de Wareb was dit dan aangespaard en had said, no, the work is on us now. That's it. It's time for Shemesh. With something Katket, Shamshe Seichel. It's time for Shemesh. The Zin, since du Malchus is waking up, and that's when Malchus is waking up, it's got on the Zin, it's on the Levun, it's on the Zolbus, Shtarke the Zin. Okay, which means that we are Malchus, and when you're not on full light, it's because we're not receiving full light. But once you start tapping into the light from inside, through the Yidgim and the Sarachim, then you're waking up your sun. And you're not dependent anymore on receiving from the sun, which means the Rebbe is not here anymore to give you. There's no Rebbes. Everything is, of course there's Rebbes. But I'm saying the Rebbe is like, it's no more the day when you can, Shram, it's over. You have to put in the work. The Rebbe can hold, but you have to put in the work. You have to wake up.
If I had closed myself in a room and doing the work.
I think that your job is, our job is, remember something. Less asa ponim menei. Our job is to be out there and find them out there. These are the this is the Mechamas Beis David. This is the war. This is the battle.
Okay, so I close myself in a room and start feeling it.
If that's what you want to do, then fine. You can do that too. But I'm saying our job is to be out there and to be fully exposed and battle and to bring bitter and bring kindness and bring rechtvaardigheid wherever we can. Bring justice, bring love, compassion.
That's what the man said last week.
Which is seeing it with the eye.
Seeing it in work out there.
He said it this week again. No, we gaan met de repeat. We doen gevangen zien met de repeat van vorige week. So yes, now again, if the question is, it's not there yet, good. That's the work. But this is the emes. Or if this is not the emes, then God forbid, if this is not the emes, I can't. There's no such. This is the emes. It's the emes. It's for sure. There's nothing. It's my truth. It's our truth. No matter what you do, I can't even. It's like comical. I want to start laughing, but I can't. It's like, what are we even talking about? You can feel the words are elevating. Esatakoyach, Siret. What's the difference between the Yana and the Zolbazach? We even call it Bahag Nabir in and Hatshuva, Sha'ena, Alaver is Dafka. Okay? What's this Shiva? It's important, it's about time that we learn what Shiva is, so you understand what the deal is. Sha'ena Alaver is Dafka. Shiva is Nishnar Favaris, what?
Du fragt op Koidem Kol. They're all of them busy. zu machen Cheshbon Nefesh auf Weisz, sucht der Koidem Kol, Elul ist nicht
Nicht
das.
auf der Weiß.
Nicht auf Weisz Bichlal, fragt es auf in ein Wort.
Aber er sucht das Dafke.
Dafke.
Mit unser Sarcasm sagt man, es ist nicht Dafke, das ist etwas anderes. No, du meinst Dafke, like, Dafke nicht das. Klur. Okay? Shane elevator is Dafke. Shai Amr Azal, she kol yom b'tshuva. Yet took is a tshuva. Was a chilik from Yetz bis Elul. Eluhu Inyan Hashabas. What? Hashabas. Yeah. Finish? Hashabas, yeah. Yes? Exactly, yeah, that's why I stopped myself. And I saw my Zug Shabbos, I stood Shabbos. Eluhu Inyan Hashabas HaNefesh. Sheshav v'noisa, esnafsha Elav. Sikim tzirig the Nefesh. Sheshav v'noisa Elav is barach. So let's understand something like this.
It's crazy.
As if you have business, the guy's starting on a business, you're opening up your business. Before you became the designer or whatever artist that you want to be, and this, I want to make a difference in the world, and I want to bring out the message, or whatever the case is, right? That's what they say on Instagram, that's how it works. So, I don't want to sound like this thing, it's mamish like that, okay? I'm not trying to be cute, it's a fact. So, the other side is the fact, you'll figure it out. So, the Kitzur HaMaisa is
Opening your business.
after going in, I'm only going to do, first I'm doing it for the love, then you take on one job, another job, you get overwhelmed, you become enslaved, and you lose your message, and now you need a vacation, so you pull back. What I'm going to do is I'm cutting down in my clients. What it means is that your energy is fully expanded out there, and it's like when you speak, you can't think. So if I can't speak and think, which means that while I'm in action, I don't have my message anymore why I'm doing this. And if I don't have the message why I'm doing this, I'm losing oxygen, and I'm leaving from bottom up, and I'm suffocating. So now I come Shuvas Vayinufash, I come back Shabbos, I come back to myself, I meditate, and once again I'm like, who am I? What am I here for? What am I doing this for? What's going on over here? Oh, take back your energy, take it back from the stretch that you were in over the 6 days you went out to whatever, all the midbar and machshova and alle Welt naar gekracht in Ibru. You had to go there because you have to bring a bitter over there. That's why Hashem in the Gemukke, you're going to be still dort and treffen. So that is Shuvas HaNefesh. Sheshav v'noisa nafsha elav yisbarach ki hi yirida l'tzerich aliyah. Okay, so that's my tshiva. Elul is a time that come back to your base, come back home. Come back home and let's see what you find there. I'm not here to tell you what you're going to find there. You find yourself there. Whatever self means, what it means, you want to look for something that doesn't hurt you, something that's soft, something that gives you life, something that gives you fire. And if all of a sudden you realize that you can't be fired up, you're missing fire, then that's where you want to go. You want to go light your fire. The Rebbe says in the Sikha 2 weeks ago, he talks about the Nachash versus the Akrav. He's like, if you are in the middle of davening Shemana Esrei, it's a famous line, but the Rebbe has his own Torah on it. If you are in the middle of Shemana Esrei and you feel hot, a Machshava Zara comes in and you're getting hot. Okay, your mind starts running. He's like, you're good. You're exactly where you need to be. Take that fire, that's the Nachash, take that fire and use it to turn on yourself into something getless. But if you're standing in the middle of davening, you catch yourself in the middle of Shemana Esrei and it's kalt, it's ausgelassen, you're not feeling anything, it's like stop right here, right now, stop and go rethink everything you're doing. Because something is terribly off. If you're saying, I have taivas and I have desires, you're exactly where you need to be. We know you have desires and taivas, they're captured and gefangen and gulas, so now you need to take it out from the nachash, from the snake, and start pushing forward into something positive. But you have fire, good. Mr. Lebedi, Mr. Ben Avrom, Ben Yitzchak Ben Yaakov. But that the feels good is cold, and there's spikes, and when it's Weisz is worse than we, go check yourself. Stop exactly what you're doing. Stop everything you're doing. This is the piece, by the way, that you want to understand this. This will give you a lot of information there. In Zugma, the ganze Sache, was in Zimmerdu, the ganze Sibbe, was in Zimmerdu, is Yerida L'Tzorech Aliyah. Yerida L'Tzorech Aliyah is that Mizarugi Kimadu Enten. I'm going down, I'm going through a struggle in my day to day, because ultimately there's going to be an Aliyah. But there's also that even with all of machshava. We're coming from the highest place anyways. So wie ga ich hechen? Wo dreist du dem Kopf? Es mir geruge ich dort gar hechen wie. Ich bin kim doch schon von der erste Platz. Ich bin noch nicht von der erste Platz. Wo dreist der ganze schon ayu, wenn es kimmen von der erste Platz. All of machshava, all of bni bukhari is through. Okay, so fine. The Alter Rebbe is asking this question. After a whole year telling us that we are from the highest place, he's like, hello, wie guys to them? Okay? We're not like malachim. Zu malamata. Shemakir is was mit beginnes dibra alien. Kidach sif vriach piv kol tsavan. Malachim kimmen van ruach piv. Van werter is hevel. Okay? Aber dann shamas nuk ich immer oisis machshafte is barg. Der neshumas van ayid kimt van oisis machshafte van den beshafe. Wenn hen shishim ribe oisis shabatere, deze zijn de 600.000 oisis shabatere. Shanken get shishim ribe neshamas shebehem kolulim kolam neshamas shabaotze. Lis enough when it says maspashim behem kanode. Each and every neshama kimt van de machshova, nicht van a dibbe van hevel, a thought. Oisis machshova, he had a thought, so to speak. Yeah, not so to speak, so to speak. He had a thought. I mean, less machshava is but whatever that means. Whatever machshava means up there. Machshava up there means that he had machshava and said, "What ungezin he has to do for 6,000 euro." You're basically being projected. That's machshava we're talking about. Every one of your thoughts, everything that's happening from now, bisman and the ganze leben, from zman abayas, alles is one tipper that's holding the space for this whole thing. Now, Malachim kimmen from Dvaravai, Dibber Piv. They kennen in Mekoyim Shashna Gavodim Moed Nala. Maya Liyoid. So if the only thing that's taking place is the machshava from Bashafer, from Eibishtin, without that there is nothing. Everything is happening. We have no clue. But let's just say Tachas HaKavana. He has a thought and he's holding that thought. So wie gaat men hechen? Wie gaat men? Wie kriegt men? What's behind? What are we going to? Achine mit das ist der Kommode, ich mach schon benefsh es kam okay schon mal machshava. Just the way in a nefesh, in a mensch. Gesh kam okay schon mal machshava. So das sag koich was in der hecht von der machshava. Ke machshava ein levush la hasegel. I'm going to explain it. Just listen. Ke machshava is not a levush van a segel. Shu meslabos koich maschalik be ois is. Auf beetz ma segel hus ach van alle momenten gegaan. Dibber Toys was Verash. Okay. Listen. You listening?
Mm-hmm.
All right. You ready to upgrade the system?
Right.
Okay. Your thoughts that you're thinking are just letters that just oisias, but there's something that's projecting that. There's a light that's even higher than that. That's before the oisies that you're thinking, which means that your level of the oisies that are coming to you that you're thinking are so child's play compared to what's holding space for it, which means that imagine there is a magician holding a hand over here, and really the action is happening right here, but he keeps distracting you. He holds you right there, keeps you 4 feet away. Anytime you want to get into something moich and something real, he's pushing you away. Because Alter Rebbe is telling us here that the machshava is just a levush for the seichel. It's a garment. It's a garment for the seichel. So it's as if you have a glazer that I'm seeing the world through colored glasses. But what's going on behind it? So he's telling you, I get it. Fine. Now I know. Big deal. So he told me it's a levush. So there's another level to my intelligence that I knew that. No, he wants you to go there.
Yeah, but
Nothing but. What? To the cycle. What about cycle and Elam? What's that? There's cycle and Elam also. Cycle and Elam is Atik. Chachmas Dema. Only it's gezegd geworden. We're going to talk about it. Yeah. How can there be? that's where it can be Rusha Tzadik Veralo, Rusha V'Tevle. That can happen in Seichel Anel. That's why we have to be careful. Exactly, it's exactly the point. He's talking about it there in Aishemana. And that's exactly the point that we're talking about, the whole, that we're just going into black and white. We got it on in vastness. We don't need to, it's all good. I tap into the light, it's good. That's what Rusha V'Toivle. That's bringing power to Rusha V'Toivle. That brings power to it justifies van tzaddik v'ra'alei shel nishgan gik, for your innocence to suffer, while the guy that's taking advantage toivle, because I'm tapping into a light, to an oil that is edach kilo toiv. That's Seichel Anelim. No, you want to bring it into his galus, where you bring in injustice. Tzedek, tzeduk, tzedek, open up justice, bring it into oisius. That's our koich, and that's our tafkid and job.
What is Seichel?
We're going to see what Seichel is. So the Seichel is a blitz, Chachma. Okay? We'll go, let's see what he says over here. So we want to still figure out now, we want to stay on course to figure out what Seichel is. It's a whole thing, let's say, if he brings it up. But really what we want to figure out right now is, wie gaich. What's hecher? Ich bin nicht hoich. Lass mich, du quatscht mir so viel. I have moments. Why are you pressing me? So he's saying like this, that the Tosfos and the Rosh Haskola Atzma Ene Masuga Oisis Klal van alles met Mamadrege ki hisvare ruchnis in a kuda alle vrak shen etvesem mesleches kesibes the three Oisis Ele Meschalekes Behem. In other words, he's saying that really the Tosfos and the Rosh is way deeper than what he's expressing. It's a massive light that found an expression through these oisies.
Not his ois.
What? What's that?
His chachma is the top. My chachma is limited to my experience, but his chachma there's no bigger than that. So if we are ulim mashafte, what is bigger than that?
That's why we're here. That's why we're being pressed all the way to the bottom to figure out what's higher than that. And what that is tremendous bittul.
Well, what's the bigger that could happen than ulim mashafte? His chachma, I don't know.
What's the bigger that can happen in?
What's bigger? What's the aliyah?
That's what we're trying to. That's what he's going to tell us right now.
Yeah, but
on you?
On my chachma, I understand that my chachma is limited, but his chachma is not limited. So his ulam mashafte is not bigger than that.
Yeah. So let's say if you maxed out an ulam mashafte, but ultimately it's asagas hamahus. It's not to figure something out. Right now, when you do some matzias, you're in dinner, you're holding on to something. You want to get into a place that behind the Ulubah Mashua, Keser, which is not an expression. It's the Tosfos and the Rosh that's what before the Oisias.
Yeah.
And how do I get this now? It's in Elul is Yidgim Amid Sarachamim, and the Shofar is going to bring down that. The Shofar doesn't have Oisias. After we prepare for 30 days, and it comes the shofar, and we're reaching out. You're not talking. You're blowing the shofar straight from the heart. Hevel Alev from the bottom. We're standing down here, and we're standing up. Akadas Yitzchak, which is Akid. Akidah is he made an imprint in a place where, like he said before, there's no light. There's nothing. It's just pure light. It's pure light. There's no expression. Over there, when I planted a space station called Akadas Yitzchak. That doesn't need krachen. So in other words, Maharare Elian, that nobody can reach there. Bilam, Bulek, there's nothing that, any type of situation you're in, that you're feeling that dibis, yeah, you're done, cushion tachas. Like seriously. Get over yourself, because Avram, where do you think it's coming from? Because Avram planted an Akaida, he planted a station up there in Akida, Where do you think it's going to trigger? All the way down at the bottom. And bring, from whatever level you are, bring a carbon from that place. Say, I'm done with this. Rav Nachman, check out. Check out from judging yourself. Zadach dan l'schiz. And this is once again, Chodesh Elul, and we have the koyach to do that. Because of Yidigin and Esarachah. Mikve, Teure, Meer Teure, Dav Oisje, Zugen, Werter, Tillem. You know, it's all that. Just saying Tillem, you don't need to learn. Just say some words. Bring in Oisjes. Surround yourself with positive Oisjes. There's Oisjes everywhere in Elul. שהאסכולה עצמה אין מסוגה אויסיס כלל, ונאלס מהן, במדרגה, כי היא סברה רוחניס, ינקודה על הפרקשת תפיסס, אוקיי, לכן האסכולה אחר שבדיבת התוספסי באויסיס ובטבס אלו בראש והרן, והאסכולה זו עצמה לחוד.
Kiddush, hier gehen Toises in Rosh, jetzt Rosh in Ran. Ja, Alter Rebbe getauscht.
Ja. So, mir gehen ein ganzer Kiddush, was bringt über den Muschel, I don't know.
Nee.
וכן אסכולה אחר שבדיבר התוספס היא באויסיס וטבס אלו, בראש והרן האסכולה זו עצמה היא באויסיס וטבס אחרים. והיינו שהאויסיס והטבס לגבי השכל אין כמוי לבוש, לבד, כלביש תחליפן. תחליפן, yeah. Okay. So in other words, these are different levels of oil, of light, and all you do is just switch the levishim. Different lenses. We're almost done with this piece. ויש גם כמכינה של מעלה מסכת כהשכלה הם לא יודעים משחק שם תומת, חדושים לבקרים. So this is heck of a cycle. It constantly rejuvenates. המוכיח שיש מציאס איזה כוחס הנפש המהווה אויסן. So he's saying like this, there's something that's even behind your seichel. Here we are, we went from machshava to seichel, and now he's telling you, remember again, I want to remind you, we want to get to the reason why you're here. You all ask the question, Vuz bin ich dufa? I don't understand my pain. So understand where we're going. You have machshava, man oisis, was ich trach mit, was ich image mit. It's basically what I was raised with. Do I want this? Do I want that? How do I process my life? Then I have the seichel, which generates, ultimately, it's a light, it's an oil. And then we have something that generates the seichel. Because he's saying, okay, I'm not saying what he's saying. I don't want to say what he's saying, because I think he's not saying that. I was going to say, because he's saying that the seichel keeps creating new thoughts, but it's not. He said, Vachlif, and says the levushim keeps changing. But I think he's saying that even that changes. So he's saying there's a koichas hanefesh which is mahava day thoughts, day flow. Vu'anikrim maskil. So we have machshava, cycle, and maskil. Something that is pulsing that, giving fire to your cycle, and then to the machshava. Then that generates the machshava. He wants to get you to that place. Vu'mashkase maskil la'asav. Maskal Esan Hazrachi. So there's Esan, and then there's Maskal, which is behind the Esan. Lamatzech Maskal, so there's the Maskal. So there's something that's behind the Alaba Machshava. The Alaba Machshava, there's something that, I know you guys have, there's Alaba Machshava, which is something called Maskal. That is the pro-generator. That generates everything behind, and that's where we're trying to get to. 1 second. What?
Transform.
Exactly. But imagine being in a transformer that gets to transform thoughts. Is that too much, man? That gets to transform, to generate.
Alternator.
What's that?
Alternator.
Alternator, okay. Yes. It generates, it stands behind the seichel. Begin dik aan nefesh hamaskeles, k'moshkase b'makam achim. Begin ma mashuv l'mal l'yis an hashamas achir l'das b'makam chatz machshav yela l'sabes b'guf chamer shahli yehu l'mal b'maha machshav. So the Eli is l'may l'mal of machshav. We're talking about something that is higher than machshav. because Allah b'machshava, but there's something behind the Allah b'machshava. That means tashiv. Tshuva is tashiv hey, but bring the yud ke vav ke, the last hey, which is malchus, bring it back to the yud. Ki machshav ila hi bechinas hey ila, the shem havai, v'tashiv hey ila legabe yud. Haindel amal bechinas machshav v'shuyud, atzmal bechinas chacham ila, shenika maskele esen. In other words, what he's saying is like this: not that it's not the last hey, it's the first hey, because you have the first yud is chachma, the koitzer shel yud is keser, and the hey, the hey is bina. So here, when we're talking about Allah b'machshava, is not from the last day, it's from the first day, which means that this massive bina generated, that's Allah b'machshava, the hey from his name, the first name, the etzem. Kurz shiyut beginnes ein schon mit dem timtza chachma. Mamash kosher mamash bas shlach bei yud shosham shekosher mamash beolam ein soif. This yud is kosher mamash and olam ein soif, means you can, that it's connected. But so it kurz shel yud ad yud kurz ve ein soif ad yud be kurz ein soif vatzilas. Hey olam abriya akoil itzir vasiya. So this hey is already olam briya and itzir vasiya, which means different levels of consciousness, which is causing you kind of your symptom and your separation and the pain that we're going through because we're mamash at the bottom. So it shows up in, let's just say, back in the day the problem was the horse and how much we got checked in the carbon. Now we're dealing with whatever you're dealing with. The groceries are too high. Fine, we dealt with that too. Also, the mark was high. Whatever we're dealing with more than the cottoners, that mamash were forced to deal with low functioning things. With this said, that guy said, and all types of. We're living in that swamp, so you have to. It's going to come, and you have to be mavarer it, whichever way. I told you we're hanging from the tree. V'yesh parsim mavdelis. There's no parsim which is mavdelis, which is, once again, we're going to finish how we started. The parsim mavdelis can be a parsa of gold, silver, judgment, depression. There's a heart, there's a plastic. Some people are stuck in plastic. Too many credit cards, stuck in the plastic parsa. All types of stuff. Comes now, you're going to activate it and then melts it away. You can start pushing through. You can push, you can go. Don't be afraid because it's Yidgim Mitzrachim. It's going to be fine. V'ayin bereshes chachma perik bes mashar tshuva. Mashkosef oid ba'ar bezoyer oid bi'iroi bezoyer hashat tshuva oila ada keser. You can understand this clearly now. Like back in the day, you didn't understand what it means that tshuva goes till keser. Now you understand what tshuva goes to keser means. You ready? What it means? That keser is so high up that less mashava tisi beklal. It has no expression. It's kechashech koere. It's choshech. Why does it mean choshech? That means like as if we're looking at a print of a nuclear bomb, a blueprint. You have no clue what you're looking at. It's choshech. It's like little codes looking into some mathematical combination. You look, E equals energy, Weisz. It's keser. It's complete choshech. How is keser if something is so high and it's living, it has to be there, it's nitzchi. There's something, it's triggering everything like this. Everything is a mirror image. We start over here and it goes, there's 10, 9, so here, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6 on both sides. From Maila Mata and Mata Maila. Okay? So if keser is all the way up there and it's zero because we have no expression for it. It's one, it's in oneness, it's not even echad, it's yochid, it's ga'einzig. So what does it press down here? What does zero look down here? If there's a zero up here, there has to be a zero down here. So what does zero look down here? Like your life. It makes no sense. It's choshech. You have no expression for it. You can't explain it. You don't know why. How is this going to make a difference in anything by me doing that? And pain that you have no explanation for. That is the power of right now that Yudgim and Mitzrachim are activated that you can, at the bottom, you can see through. What's that?
It's a direct channel.
Direct channel from the bottom. Tshuva oil ada keser, which means that the tshuva, when I'm having charata and I'm saying no, when I'm taking charge and I'm looking into myself, I can tap into til keser, which means my deepest level of choshech, which is my keser. The plots that makes nothing, doesn't make any sense. That's the keser. That's where you tap into Chodesh Elul. And from that place comes Rosh Hashanah day, and you blow the shofar, which is expressionless. It's the hevel. The Alter Rebbe goes into a whole mimer on that, explaining exactly what happens. It's a bit complex, but we can probably experience it. We can do something like a meditation on it. We'll see. So, it comes straight from the heart. It comes from the nekev, and now that you know energetically that you're not just here like a behemoth, but Adam is from the ground. Everything came. It's here kapov, but all the animals, everything is from the ground. We are here being held by gravity. It's pulling, right? We're on the opposite side of the ball. Technically speaking, we should go flying, but gravity is pulling us. But also Earth is pushing. So Mother Earth is pushing and it's pulling. And we're pulled in between these two places. But this is, and here we're all the way at the bottom. Magnetic field pushing and pulling from massive forces. They're holding us in place. And this creator, this thing that created everything, he wanted a home. He wanted a space here. He wanted to be able to land over here. The phone is distracting. He wanted it distracting forever for you also. He wanted to be expressed here in this consciousness, in this temperature, in this frequency. What does he want to be expressed? It's like if you have a friend, you have many friends, but then there's one friend that you have an understanding with. You guys have the same humor. You can wink with the eye. Versteht sich. He has many expressions, people that he communicates with, but there's one consciousness that understands, the chaps the Indian, that understands Yira, what Yira is, understands Ava, how to do Ava, nicht zi graben, nicht zi geschrocken, like a proper Ben Miller. And that is us. So he planted us here, down here, all the way at the bottom. So we're pushing out from Earth, from Mother Earth, and from that place, you do Tekiah Shofar, and you're screaming up and telling him exactly what's up. He should send down Shefa. The reason he's doing that, you're going to ask yourself, wer darf die ganze Sache? I was already in a place, because light, it's hard to structure light. How do you define light? How do you express something that is Ein Sof? How do you limit something? And then when you put a limit on that, a gvul, it becomes a massive tzimtzum and pain. How do you teach it? So everything that you're going through is a mold, it's a vessel to teach energy, to teach the light. And schar mitzvah behel meleke. Do nicht du kan schar for mitzvah. Because we're in levushin, we're in plastic. We're living through, we're in a laboratory, working with the gloves, through the suits in the glass. That's what we're looking at. We want to get to behind. Tap into the soviv, that's where the mitzvahs are, the makiv. Why are the mitzvahs in the makiv? Because Panimi has expression. Makiv is higher than expression. So if makiv is higher than expression, so what is a mitzvah? Torah is our Panimi. Mamala soiv Panimi and makiv, and mitzvahs is makiv, makifim. Why is it makiv? Because the fact that you can't make sense of a mitzvah. Tefillin, it doesn't make any sense. Or it does make sense. Because that's what he decided. It could have been anything. It could have been a plastic cup. But he decided like this. So it's makiv. It has no language. The talus is a makiv. It makes no sense. Wrap yourself in a talus. I want to wrap myself with you. You wrap yourself in wool. Why? Why a talus? It makes no sense. That means that it's makifim. It has no sense. But by doing it, you're doing multiple things. First of all, you're activating tremendous bittul, because you're saying, okay, technically speaking, you can be like, this makes no sense. Like, a lot of people look at this whole thing and like, what are you guys doing? Maza, Rusha, Maya, Muaz, Vachikim, Vamashputim, what was it the ganze Spiel? But the fact that you're surrendering to it and you're doing it, then you're doing Kabbalah soil, which is you're breaking the chayne, you're breaking, it's almost like a tzedukah, you're breaking, you're going inside, and you're honoring his shenanigans, so to speak, because that's what he chose, specifically that. The millionaire, you understand, he wants everything to be exactly like, he wants the wedding to be this way, the flowers like that, it's the same spiel. But here you're playing with light, you're playing with energy, with mitzvahs, bringing it in. So that is true. Ola at Keser.
I would go above myself. Like, why are we here? Yeah. Still didn't get that. I would go above that.
By doing tshuva, which means asking the question, figuring out how to get back to self, and ultimately, it's by, as you become mindful with what you're doing, why am I putting on films? Why am I davening? As you are doing that, you get into a place where you are Bonam Sofikas, you meet something that is the Zachalan. I'm in connection. I'm in Vegas.
That I didn't.
What's that?
That experience I didn't have here.
No, not in this expression. Up there, no. You're not touching it. You're in a dream. I mean, the saying Ganed is a Sagas Amahuz there, but actual action to change something only happens down here. Only here we can change. If something is fahankered up there, they can't change anything. Down here is your line and you can move things around.
What's the difference between Yom Rachim, Yom Rachim, Ashur Shishuna, and after Shishuna?
That's going to be next week. It's a nice shtickle. It's the middle of the piece here.
Still have last week.
What?
You still have Ra'ai.
We still have last week also, exactly.
Gotta extend that.
Finish.
Gotta extend that.